Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's Play of Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, and we're continuing the GX campaign with a reason to win. This time we're going to be playing as Alexis Rhodes versus Titan. So let's get started. And I believe both decks actually aren't that much different from the last time we played as them. Alexis tended to her brother in the infirmary. A mysterious voice suddenly filled her head, saying that she could save her brother under one condition, that she beat him in a duel. It was the voice of Titan. Thought to be lost to the Shadow Realm, he had returned as one of the Shadow Riders. Alright, so we duel, and if I win, you restore my brother's memories. That's the deal. Your end of it, at least. But if I win, I get something too. Your spirit key and your soul to take back with me to the Shadow Realm. When you and I first met up, I was but a charlatan of the shadows. However, since being taken in by them, I am now the real deal, an authentic Shadow Rider. Let us begin. Now, Titan is going to be using his Archfiend deck, I believe. I assume Alexis is still using her normal deck. I'm not a big fan of it. But it is a little bit better. What do we have in here? Okay, Cyberblader, that's what I was expecting, more or less. Oh yeah, now we also have Cyber Prima. Discard is tribute summoned, destroy all face-up spell cards on the field. That's actually now pretty decent effect. For now, I'll set Blade Skater. What card is that? Probably... what's it called? Desrook Archfiend? Something like that. I will summon a Cyber Prima. Unfortunately, I can't use her effect. No, it was Infernal Queen Archfiend. Cyber 2/2, if the attack of each monster your opponent controls is higher than the attack of this card can attack your opponent directly. Okay, let's activate Rare Gold Armor. And then summon Cyber 2/2. Did I actually need Cyber 2/2 for the fusion summon? Let's see. No. Alright. No, actually. Well, yeah, I'm going to summon this card. It will destroy this card. Unfortunately, but really this card was mostly intended to protect Cyber 2/2. Destroy whatever that card is. Giant Trunade, okay. So far he doesn't seem to have that much luck with his cards. Oh, Pandemonium. Yeah, it wasn't that lucky this time. No, not again. Atticus, Lexi, Addie, welcome back. Thanks, Lex, for everything. Wait, there's so many unanswered questions, like how you ever ended up in the Shadow Realm. Titan said you did it for the power. Believe me, Lexi, I never chose to go. One day, a few of us were told to meet at the abandoned dorm, and then it happened. There was supposed to be a duel test in the basement, but instead we found hundreds of those little shadow fiends. I couldn't escape. I was brought to the Shadow Realm. They brainwashed me for months until I became this thing called Night Shroud. By who? Who was it that brainwashed you? I never did figure that out. However, the person who called me to take the duel test was Professor Banner. Our Professor Banner? So he's in on it? And that is the big question. And as you can see, the answer over here is yes. But that will have to wait till next time. Let's see if we can do a better job than Titan did. Although I think we also were lucky with our cards, and he was not that lucky. Okay. Let's set this card. Destroy any monster that inflicts battle damage to players' life points by attacking directly. Well, that might be a good card to use at some point. What did this do again? Discard one spell card and target one spell card your opponent's graveyard. Place the target new. Okay. Can be useful. I don't know what kind of card she has. Well, at least I don't have to pay the upkeep. What's this? Okay, well, that's not helping me right now. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, yeah, there's nothing I can do to stop that. But at least I could destroy that card. But of course at this point I have to be careful about attacking her life points directly as well. Okay, so she's not using this card to attack, that's smart. Okay, let's activate Pandemonium. That definitely shields me from the cost of actually, you know, maintaining my units. But even if now those monsters keep getting destroyed, you know, I am losing this. Yeah, if this monster was weaker, I could have used double summon to actually summon Terror King Archfiend. But, you know, it's simply too weak. I mean, she only needs 2 monsters now to win. Yep, she won. Yeah, I kind of saw that one coming. Oh, this thing has an eye in his mouth. I do remember this card from the Game Boy game and just it showing up, you know, in things in this game, and I never really looked at that monster. I don't know what I thought it was. I didn't think it was an eye. Or that it was a skull holding anything. Okay. So we have dash counter blow. 500 life points, then target 1 Archfiend monster in your graveyard. Special summon the target. It cannot be tributed, destroyed during the end phase of this turn. That does not seem particularly useful, but I don't know. What does this do? As long as this card remains on the field, during each standby phase, increase the attack of 1 Archfiend monster by 1000 points until the end phase. Or I can just activate Beastly Mirror Ritual. And summon Fiend's Mirror. And hopefully this way I can keep her powerful monsters off the field. Because I think that was part of the problem last time. I simply couldn't get offensive monsters on the field, which allowed Alexis to summon her more powerful monsters, so I couldn't actually stop her. Now I hope I'll get something soon to summon, so I can get the Archfiend of Lightning, Skull Archfiend of Lightning. Okay, interesting. So she doesn't summon anything. Lycanthrope. Well, I didn't have any special abilities or not. This card inflicts battle damage to your opponent. Inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each normal monster in your graveyard. That's actually pretty cool. But for now, I'll just keep Fiend's Mirror. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. She's stalling. Yes, continue the attack, destroy the yellow scapegoat. Reinforcement of the army. What does she get? Cyber gymnast. Ah crap, didn't that have like a really crappy effect? Mystical Space Typhoon, damn it. Yeah. Fuck that card. This card cannot be normal summoned or flip summoned unless you have an Archfiend monster on your side of the field. Okay. Well, I don't have a monster like that on the field. Well, I guess that's the kind of the point of this card. Allows me to summon an Archfiend monster, which allows me to summon Terror King Archfiend. But ideally, I'll be able to summon Lycanthrope. Although I guess I don't have that many normal monsters in the graveyard. Oh wait, I did actually want to activate this card. Then I will summon that card. And let's get rid of some of these scapegoats. Ugh. Okay, this better be something good. Battles card, select one Archfiend monster on your side of... yeah. That is not happening. Now the only hope I have is actually summoning Lycanthrope. That's really the only hope I have. Yeah, Pandemonium, it's a little bit late for that. I also can't really summon anything. Now, I'm not going to be using his challenge deck because I haven't played with that deck, but playing against it, it didn't really seem like a deck I can... It didn't really seem like an offensive deck, which is not... You know, I don't like the stall decks. So let's go with the deck I've been using to destroy quite a few of the challenge duels. My Malefic deck. It doesn't work always, unfortunately. It has... you know, it's definitely not flawless. But usually it works. Well, not the greatest first hand, but it will have to do. Fortunately, she doesn't have that many powerful monsters she can summon, you know, right away. Unless she has Polymerization, of course, or Cyber Gymnast. Now the whole point of this deck is to summon Malefic monsters. And Malefic monsters, you can only have one of them on the field. They're the only ones that can actually attack. And they need a field spell card. And unfortunately, I don't have one. Now I do have 3 skill drain cards in my deck, which is technically not legal. I believe in the current rules that are used, you know, in real life these days, but also not in the game. Technically, you're only allowed to have one of those cards. But who cares? Great. And this is basically one of the best spell cards for this deck. Basically what it does is well, here we go. If a level 10 or higher monster on the field destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, the player who controls the destroyed monster takes 1000 damage. When this card on the field is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 divine monster from your deck to your hand. Well, I don't think I have a divine monster. No, I don't. Unless this card is divine, but no, it's dark. But I do have some cards in this deck, like Malefic Cyber End Dragon, so I have to send a Cyber End Dragon to the graveyard, or send it out of play. But the whole thing with these cards is that they are the only cards that can attack. I believe this one is an exception to that. But basically, this card works really well with Malefic cards because, well, if you lose a monster against a level 10 monster, you lose 1000 life points. And, you know, if you're only allowed to attack with 1 monster in a turn, you know, it's good to have a protection like that. It also prevents my monster from being destroyed by card effects. So, cards like Mirror Force simply don't work against level 10 monsters, as long as that card is on the field. Now the weakness at this moment is that if she has Mystical Space Typhoon, she can destroy this card and then Malefic Cyber End Dragon will be destroyed. But if you have Skill Drain, then this whole thing, you know, this whole effect that he has will also be ignored, because that's what Skill Drain does. It basically disables effect monsters. So if you have Skill Drain on the field and the field magic cards gets destroyed, then your Malefic monster won't be destroyed. Now of course you also lose these effects this card has, so your monster isn't protected anymore against spell cards and things like that. But on the other hand, you know, it also loses the effect of it also loses the effect that it is the only monster that can attack. So if you can summon another monster, and I do have some other monsters that aren't Malefic monsters in this deck, you know, they can attack as well. And the normal monsters I have in this deck are, well, the one I summoned first, and basically there are cards that are high level with high you know, attack points, but they have the effect that they can be summoned without tribute. But you know, the card I summoned in my first turn, you know, it instead of the 3000 attack points, it gets 1900 attack points. And the other type of card I have, I believe, has 2800 attack points, and if you summon him without tributing, it gets cut in half. But with Skill Drain, that's also the effect that gets disabled, so you can summon them without tribute, and then, you know, the effect is disabled, so they're at full power. Really useful. Sure, let's set Dark Bribe. Okay, yes, let's actually activate Mystical Space Typhoon, because I'm getting... Ooh, Dark Hole. I'm getting tired of all those pop-ups. Now the ideal card to actually... Oh. Yes. The ideal card to actually use as a Malefic monster is Malefic Rainbow Dragon. Because it's a dragon type as opposed to a machine type. And I do have a card in here. Well, I can now finish her off. But I do have a card in this deck which basically allows dragon type monsters to do piercing damage. So if you have then this card active as well, you know, and it has also 4000 attack points, it would deal tons of damage per turn. But unfortunately, I simply have to do it this way. But we win anyway. So that was easy enough. So next time we'll go for Amnel's Endgame, also known as Professor Banner. But for now, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll speak to you guys later.